Hello and welcome! When I was a kid, I watched a lot of SpongeBob, so much so that my parents actually got me a SpongeBob DVD. In it, I remember it had a wonderful extras feature because I still remember it to this day. There was this hints and tricks video for a SpongeBob game that I didn't own called Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Many years later, I still didn't get the game and I still remember the video. And I always wondered, why didn't I get it? So, I got it, and I now want to know if it's any good. Check out Kid Kong from us at 16-Bit Games. It uses a very unique control interface which allows you to play in both landscape and portrait. Check it out in the links in the description. The gameplay for Spongebob Squarepants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is different from your typical 3D platforming SpongeBob game like Battle for Bikini Bottom, due to the fact that this was the very first 3D platformer that SpongeBob starred in. As a result, you get a lot of rough patches and a lot of good stuff. Get to the bad, a lot of the gameplay is repetitive. The typical mission that you will see in the game is a go from point A to point B. But what you do in between it is typically fun. You got a mix of combat, which was refined in future SpongeBob games. You got a lot of great platforming, made even better due to the fact that SpongeBob can actually flutter down instead of having a double jump. Jumping is handled two ways. You have a jump and then you have a long jump or a high jump depending on what the situation calls for. But overall, it's okay. It's not the best gameplay. Don't get me wrong, it gets boring and repetitive very quickly, but it's not frustrating, and there's no frustrating gameplay thrown into it. The controls are okay for what it is. Don't expect the accuracy and precision from other 3D platforming games, but do expect something that's playable. The combat is by far the worst part of the game, but that has more to do with the fact that SpongeBob is using his arms to fight. My recommendation is to actually just belly flop on all the enemies that you can, due to the fact that you have the drop shadow to go and ensure that you're landing on target. Moving around, I find SpongeBob is stiff. I want him to move faster than he does, and I don't even know if the roll actually does anything other than make it look amusing. And finally, we get to platforming, or just general jumping. That's probably the smoothest part of the entire game, but there's something that's holding it back. The camera is not good. It's not horrible, but it's not perfect. It's on par with the Fairly OddParents Breaking the Rules camera, which means that you can pan left and right, no problem, but you cannot pan up and down. This means that if you're on a level with no platforming, it's perfect. But if you're in a level where you have to jump up any floor, it makes it a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Fortunately, the flutter and the level design are there to help you platform easier. The level designs give you enough runoff to make it so that the flutter lands most of the time. Unfortunately, this is not a rule, this is an exception, which means that there are one or two levels which do not have this in mind, and platforming is extremely difficult. As I said earlier, what you do in each level isn't fun, but going through the levels themselves are extremely fun. The levels are diverse, they're unique, and they're extremely fun, which makes going through this game a lot more enjoyable than it would have been otherwise. Well, the aesthetics really depend on what you're looking at. If you're looking at the levels, you'll notice the low quality textures on everything, but they all work together in this very unique way, which I kinda like it. The player models are freaking fantastic, until they start talking, in which case they're pure nightmare fuel. But overall, I think the aesthetics are okay. The story in Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is okay. It's a boring kidnapping story, but it's more of a MacGuffin to get you through the entire game. What's important about the story is that they actually were able to get all the voice actors to play their roles, including Mr. Krabs.
Yeah! What is that? Oh, you want to move the Krusty Krab? Should I get a hammer? Never mind that. I'm going.
The music is actually pretty good in my opinion. There's a lot of good songs in here and a lot of just okay songs. My only issue is that there is no unique music per level except for 2 of them. What actually happens is it changes every time you change your costume, which means you're going to be listening to a lot of the same songs throughout the entire game. Fortunately, you just change the costume and that's that, but it does get repetitive. Personally, I think it's a good game. It has unique levels, and it has a very distinct feel to it. Is it the best game on the PlayStation 2? No. Is it the best SpongeBob game on the PlayStation 2? No. If you want a good SpongeBob game, get Battle for Bikini Bottom. But if you're just looking for a fun, unique experience, I definitely say pick this one up. It's not the best SpongeBob game, but it's not the worst. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please check out the links below for more videos or the cards. If you liked or disliked it, please leave a like or dislike at the bottom just so you can help visibility and stuff. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from us and leave a comment. We will get back to you. Anyways, thank you for watching.